comes the news with a twist and a grin. Steve and Alan diving in again.
Britain is in the
Almost
grip of a
daily,
vomiting
but
epidemic.
always
Find
sharp.
nauseating TV adverts
He'll
that
hit your
are
brain
being
like
approved
a
to stop the
lightning
Church of England
spark.
from spending £100
Steve
million
and Alan,
on slavery in their
almost
lives,
daily.
investigating them to
Laughs
science
and
and
facts
maybe I don't.
served out
It's literally
plainly.
incredible. You look at your face,
Your
like, what are you
dose
going to do
of
with that,
wit
Steve?
is
Not a lot.
never shady. Steve and Alan, almost daily.
Hello and welcome to Stephen Allen, Almost Daily. I'm Stephen Allen. It's a day. What more could you possibly want other than colouring that? For some reason, it's still odd. When we get back to the daytimes, hopefully that camera sorted itself out. Well, hello and welcome to the Friday Live and Loose edition, Saturday edition, Late and Loose. So it's the Friday edition on Saturday, and it's live and late and loose. Or maybe it's two lives. It's live and late and loose and live. Did we make a jingle for that one? No? Well, that's understandable. We do have a jingle for this, though. Friday Live and Loose. Friday Live and Loose. Where is it?
Friday,
Saturday.
Live and Loose.
Welcome along. The special Saturday night edition. If you've never watched this before, I'm Stephen. Why would you? How have you got here if you've never watched this before? I'm Stephen Allen. I like to look through the news every so often, and normally I do it daytimes, Tuesday, Thursday, and pretty much all the Fridays I can do these days, apart from this Friday coming. There's more on that later, plus also last Friday. And because of childcare arrangements, I've not been able to do them as much in the week, so I've come up with Detains in the family life arrangement. That if ever I have to not do one of these streams, I get to make up the time at a different time where I'm allowed back into the shed. Yeah, allowed. To do it without any recriminations. Boom, Saturday night. Here we go. Ruben says, are you loose? Expected it with us, that curry, Steve. Do you know what? I can't do curries anymore. Yeah, something's changed. They don't tell you about this. You know, you think getting old is kind of becoming a grown-up, and then at some point you mature into the care home phase of life. They don't tell you about this 40s into 50s thing. No one ever mentions it. The last comedy song I did was about how I can get 3 days' worth of heartburn from a pork pie. Why is that not written on the side of it? You've got to put a diseased lung on the side of smoking. Why on the side of a packet of pork pies? That's right, a whole packet. Is there no picture of some bloke in his 50 being like, for a few days after, may cause ing? Why is that not put on your thing, Andy Burnham? Also, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah, and so curries just do me in. I think maybe they always did, but you just think, I had a bit of a strong one last night. Why am I doing that to myself? If anything else in your life gives you loose stool, and you didn't intend loose stool, you'd be like, I'm not doing that. Yeah, for some reason we go, I had a curry last night, absolutely through the eye of a needle, mate. You sure it's not a disease? It's akin to a disease. Also, do you know I think I've done a rant on this before. Rant of the day jingle, get it ready, it's going to happen. Everyone makes this big deal about, spicy food. These days we use spicy as a euphemism for pornography for some reason. Spicy food. Spicy is not a flavour. It is not a flavour, and let me tell you why. Now I need the jingle for the science. Get ready with it. Don't know why I'm pretending there's someone over there. Get ready with the science jingle. Hang on. No, bear with. Let's go into the one where... You see there's no one over there. Get ready with the science. We're doing science first. Flavour up the nose. Taste on the tongue, right? Because you've got taste buds that detect taste. There's bitter, there's sweet, and if you don't have the bitter, you can't appreciate the sweet. There's salty. If you don't have the not salty, you can't appreciate the salty. That's what I always tell them. And is umami, which is a spell that you cast on things. And there's I've missed one. There's another one in there somewhere. Bitter, sweet, sour, sweet and sour. That's one, isn't it? What? Umami. Weirdly, sweet and sour pork balls would have umami in them. Why have we got off topic so quickly? The point is, there is no taste bud that detects spicy. Do you know why? Do you know how you sense?
Science Corner.
Do you know why you sense spice? The pain receptors on your tongue detect it. The pain receptors detect capsicum. The pepper spray. You add a small soup. Who's sitting there cooking going, oh, this needs a little bit more pepper spray. Can we put some capsicum in here? So basically, having spicy food is like eating a plain sandwich and slamming your finger on a car door.
Daily Rant.
Oh, straight out the traps. Which is what I'll be tomorrow after that curry. What are we talking about? I'm not curries. If you'd like to get involved in the chat, well, of course, this is where it's all happening. Ruben says, are you loose? Well, that kicked me off on one. I was worried there's not enough content to fill today's show, and yet somehow, because I've not had an adult conversation all day, well, this is not going to be an adult conversation. Oh, this is going to be very adult. Do you know what I mean? Proper Moon said, it's the red light special. Roxanne! Anyone know the chords to Roxanne? Anyone know the chords to Roxanne? Roxanne chords. See, if it's an E flat, we're jogging on. E minor, I'll take it. Good God. Roxanne! You don't... No, it's not. C major 7. I'm not putting a major 7 in. I'll break my thumb. Jumanji, says Chris Hood. Thank you, bless you. I made her capsicum. Well, the tone has been set by Proper Memes.
Tone has been set.
Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. No, sorry. I'm doing B flat like a fool. There we go. Oh, Roxanne, you don't have to put on the red light. That was better, wasn't it? Open up, says Proper Memes. It's the police. Prove it. Sing Roxanne. Roxanne. Uvavu. Iranu. Yeah, we're up to date. What are we doing? Whipped cream is spicy. Good God, what have you been doing with it, man? Same, says Joodles. I only used to have one for the After 8 mint. What are we talking about? No, finish the gin. What are we talking about? Yeah, sorry, I need the ukulele as well today. Chris has finished the dancing. I'm reading these in the wrong order. Let's go over here so I can actually start from the start. Evening all, says Chris. Well, that was worth going back for, wasn't it? Curry on digesting. Ooh, no, don't. Ooh. It's no pleasure getting old, Steve. Ruben, I totally agree. No one tells you about this. So many bits just stop working. And not in a way that you want them to or anything, you know what I mean? We're up to date. I think we're up to date. We're talking about After 8 meets, but we could get into that. Ouch, I'm going to turn off my hearing aid. But don't turn off the red light. Keep doing the major. Lucy's here. You need to look up hang on. You need to look up Roxanne. That's just Rox. No, Rox is by Primal Scream. I'll sing that later as well. What do we got? We're up to date. So if you'd like to partake in the thing. My arms are too high as well. That's better, isn't it? Welcome along, where we take a look at the front pages. So we jump in and see some front pages. We'll start, by the way, tomorrow's front pages, of course. Tomorrow's front pages. Roxanne. I'll get it by the end of it. So we start with tomorrow's front pages with... we've got the Telegraph. I've not looked at these myself. I've just loaded these in. I've done no prep for today's show. I mean, I think that's fairly apparent already. Oliver Brown, which is some sort of code name, is it? I did an absolute Oliver Brown in there. I'd give it a minute. The game has stood up to Infantino at last. Ah, well, you know me. I love the football. I care so much.
World Cup 2026. Soccer? I hardly knew her.
We're up to date. We threatened to boycott 55 nations threatened to boycott the World Cup. Coming over to my side of the fence, where I've been boycotting the World Cup for all of the World Cup. Finally, they saw sense because of Giorgio Moroder's idea of selling off the World Cup. You can't do that, but it looks like he's gone. He's been stood up to, and he's gone. Infantino's leaving football. He's a proper git. We've saved the World Cup, but I don't give two. I still can't think of... Normally I'm a really good lyricist, aren't I? I think we can all agree. And yet for some reason, I really can't do it. It's weird, isn't it? Not managing to finish these songs when it comes to football. So he's gone. Healy says, I will not allow supermarkets to rip you off. Thank God. Thank God the Chancellor of the Exchequer has said he will not. Don't mess with him. This guy used to do defense, karate, or something like that. And now he's in charge of the money. Chancellor warns of more cost of living pain because of Iran war. Oh, God. How much Iranian stuff are we buying, by the way? What do you mean that ukulele was from there? The Chancellor, John Healey, has warned supermarkets that he will not allow them to take public for a ride. Also, it seems, Uber. Come on, what? If that's what we're up to tonight. Writing for The Telegraph, Mr. Healey, named after those shoe things with the wheels in the bottom, said he would be watching closely for any suggestion that customers are being ripped off. Oh, no, please, sir, over here. £10.50 for instant coffee. We're already there. You don't need to check. It's already the situation. We're already being ripped off. Oh, by the way, you have no say in this at all. So thanks for saying you won't let it happen. You can't stop it happening. What are you going to do? Call up Tesco? So, I'm sorry, you can't charge £10.50 for instant coffee. But yeah, we can. That's how that works. Can they bring in laws so you don't have those faffing little... Yesterday, I wanted to get some eye drops. Get the krypton factor on it. Gotta move that over there. Move that puzzle down here. Move that one. I got it wrong, but somehow it unlocked a secret level. I went through it. I was fighting a monster back there. It's a can of monster, but Chris Hood says, I bought my uke in Honolulu. The give 2 bits. Oh, thank you, proper memes. Thank you. Why is that not loaded back up? Not that one. Oh, come on. For the love of all that is handy. Oh, there it is. Infantino's leaving football. He's a proper git. Looks like we've saved the World Cup. But I don't give 2 bits. It rhymes. It's the wrong denomination for these days, but no, I like it. I like your work. Thank you. Scanning error well vexing. Yep. Thanks, Paul. Charlotte's here, thank you, saying, supermarket rip-offs, I just hope oil doesn't start to skyrocket for my massagers. What are you using? Castrol GTX? Got a bit of 10WO. I wish I knew what the letters meant. Every single time I have to buy oil for my car, I have to Google the damn thing. What do I need to get? 5W30? Do I get some of that? Do I get 10W0? Rapeseed? You can't say that on YouTube, can you? Do you know what? As an almost serious aside, how are we still calling that crop that? Can we not just change? We changed opal fruits, for crying out loud. Why? I don't know. Can we not change? It's always awkward. Like, I've got a 4-year-old son driving down the lane, seeing some fields. Look at that field. It's yellow, because they can't say yellow. And you feel like you can't correct them. I don't know if it's their accent. And they go, what's that yellow field? It's a type of seed oil, son. What's that, Daddy? Difficult to explain. Don't want to teach you that word. What did you do on the weekend, little Steve's son? Oh, we went to a field of... Ruben, I wouldn't have put you down as a football fan, Steve. More tennis or golf. Oh, I love the beautiful game. The set pieces, the scoring, the coin flipping. Oddly, that gets me. I quite like that. I did A-level maths, pure and stats. So I do quite like, probability is number of outcomes over all outcomes. That feels good. Eric Clapton had a uke. He named his Layla, ukulele. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. But England is still Brit, says Chris Hood. What? Evening all, says Martin. I'm practicing my Washburn Child's electric guitar scale length of a uke, but 6 strings. Oh, I'd have one of them. The normal tuning as a guitar. I must admit, I played the guitar back in the old days of doing like A-level. The ukulele was barely 3 weeks ago or whatever. Whenever I bought it to dick around on the internet. That's why I only know about 4 chords. Americans have totally beeped up Cadbury's chocolate. They have. I'm glad you went back to that topic after I had a blackout and don't remember raising it. But what was I saying again? Martin, says Jules. Charlotte says to Ruben, it doesn't taste right. It doesn't, that's true. Also, I don't like the fact that when it's hot like this, you can bend chocolate in ways that should get you banned from Tesco's. Don't get banned from Tesco's, as I learnt to my chagrin. She's not my real gran. Because you can't get into that secret level. Proper memes. I once had a casual affair with a guitarist. No strings attached. Oh. Paul, yep, same chords, etc. as a regular guitar and tuning. I'd be up against the fat finger problem, but it's not held the king back. He's made all right, hasn't he? Look, let's be honest. If you worry that you might have slightly larger fingers, look at how the king made it all the way to the top job. Without any help other than being born into it. Other than nepotism, the monarchy, tradition, he worked hard and he got to the top of the gig. By the way, it's too hot because it's too hot. Don't know it. Chagrin, I hardly knew her. Well, I hope she's not your real gran. They replaced cocoa butter with palm oil. I also didn't understand what palm oil was. I'm not very good with oils. In my defense, if it sounded like what it was on the tin, it was exactly what I needed for that job. It's also what Charlotte needs for her job. But as it turns out, it's not. I feel bad now. I didn't realize I bought the wrong. I thought, just to over-explain that joke, I thought palm oil was oil for your palms. And I waited till Palm Sunday. I was going to absolutely have a feast of it. But as it turned out, as I learned, I was making an error. Think of the number of orangutans that died for that session. Still, it's what they would have wanted. Martin says, Jules. Let's be honest. I don't know why you're saying that, but that's good proper memes. You still got that duffel coat on, Martin. That's why. Don't start. I've been cooped up in a little room all day. I'm one up from hot right now. What's hot? I know where Luke is on. You get tepid, you get Luke, then you're into warm, then you get hot. What's above hot? We need the scales. Roo, says Joodles. It's a gilet femme. A men's coat. I'm glad you agree. Eric Clapton, says Paul, had a graphic design side grift as he made sans serif but didn't print the courier. I made sans serif. Stay there. No, we can get rid of the Roxanne chords. I ain't going to play them. The internet now predicts I'm going to put the word chords at the end of all my searches. You know what I'm going to wear next time? Hang on. I don't like cricket. Oh, no, that's the wrong one, isn't it? I shot the sheriff, doom, doom. Oh, sorry. I made sans serif, doom, doom, but I didn't print the courier. Doesn't quite scan, does it? Which is ironic, because sans serif and courier both scan really well. I shot the sheriff, ooh, ooh. Palm Sunday could be a very new on my treatment list. I'm all for it. Why not? A day of rest. One up from hot is perished. Yeah. I shot the parish, doom, doom, but I didn't shoot the deputy. Do you do Palm Sundays? What, with a cake? Says proper memes. Oh no, I love it. What, cricket? More of a football man myself, Ruben. I'm enjoying today's show. This is one where I'll look back and I'll realise it's a mess because the ones that I enjoy this much are very difficult to follow. Alan says, "Hi, Steve. How are you? Didn't know you were on tonight." Do you know what? It was all over the place. I knew I couldn't do yesterday. There was a chance it was a 4:00 show today. That didn't happen. I was in town with the kids, but I'd failed to get a paying gig, so that's why I'm here tonight. I thought Thunderbirds had strings attached. I needed a fortune teller. My palms need reading. You got to oil them first. My first job when I left school, says Ruben to Charlotte, was at Cadbury, and you could smell it in the air. Oof. What are we talking about? Using the palm oil. You dirty old man. Put me off a whisper, that has. I was just walking along the street, and then I saw a sheriff. I thought, I don't like this man at all. And so I printed sans serif. Why would that cricket guy shoot the sheriff? It's more the umpire he's got to worry about. Back to the front pages. And we are barely all of half a newspaper in. Badenoch's security officer was a knife-wielding fanaticist. Well, you really can get jobs anywhere then. You know, they're right. They really are going to sort out the issue to do with, you've not seen this, have you? The issue to do with unemployment. There you go. Badenoch's security officer was knife-wielding fanaticist. Equal opportunities. Trans suspects will be allowed to request strip search by female officer. This is, no, come on. I don't want to get into this argument, but it's just not right, is it? It's not right. Why can I not request a strip search from a female officer? Where's your Equality Act now? I think that's what put me off the sheriff. Paul says, I studied ecology at Askham Bog in York. The chocolate factory was next door. It was torture. She studied ecology at Askham Bog in York. Fish Finger Fridays as proper means. Steve had to sneak into the studio for a quick Palm Sunday. If you got the oil, do you know what I mean? All oiled up, nowhere to go. I used to be a bear, now I'm a pear, says Ruben. When do you shave the beard off? Paulie, proper memes, says to Paulie, did you shove chocolate in your pocket? I identify as Stephanie. I would if there was a search available. Do you know what I mean? It reminds me of the old Billy oh, good God. The Billy Connolly joke about keeping your sporran on the inside of your kilt because if you're going to get mugged, you might as well enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? If I'm going to get stopped and searched, let's all have a story to tell at the end of it. I'm all up for that. I think, you know what, maybe you do have a case that a certain demographic is stopped and searched more often. And if I knew I could request a female stopper and searcher, I would account for a lot of your numbers. I'd be walking down them streets, and then I'd walk down it again with a fake moustache on, turn my jacket inside out. One of those reversible jackets. As a friend of mine once said, a reversible jacket is as close as we have to invisibility. That's so true. Chaz, do you dip finger... Hang on. Do you want to take this private? Paul says, I had more than a thirst for knowledge. Thank you, Joodles. £1.99's worth of Billy Connolly. Every time I say it, it goes when my brain wants to do it. Thank you. It's absolutely worth it. I won't be cracking open an energy drink for tonight's show. I might need to sleep after this. It must be Saturday. This has become weird. And proper meme says Billy Colony. That'd be a hell of a nickname, wouldn't it? Where do we get to? We're doing the Telegraph. I think we're up to date with the trans suspect thing. I think I got a good point there. The Mirror goes with Kate goes green. She wears a green dress. I'm wearing a green shirt. I'm probably not now going to vote for like pro-Hamas things. If that is what you are implying, The Mirror, I think you are wide of the mark. PM's vow to Mirror readers, I'll help families in need. Oh my, good God. I mean, that's a bold statement. I don't think any prime minister has ever said, hang on, I was being told they all kin would. Oh, no. Okay, so I was wrong. For a minute there, I thought that was an exclusive. Not only is this not an exclusive to the newspaper, it's not even exclusive that a prime minister would say this. Cutting the cost of living is my top priority. Because you were reviewing crisps the other day, and then you're on social media talking about these. You might call these a roll. Some people call them a bap. Oh, it's weird, isn't it? As I posted on social media today, I spent years being a cheesy local radio DJ. This guy's nicking my shtick. He's a shtick nicker. When I grew up, we called them cobs. So, of course, some people call them roll. Baps. That's another meaning. So, probably need to be careful. Make sure you go if you go into a different part of the country, you walk into a bread shop and ask if you can see their baps, you will get in trouble. Here's Celine Dion. What am I thinking? It's ridiculous. That's not what I do on radio. Here's Eric Clapton. I don't like cricket. I don't remember him doing that one. I didn't know that Eric Clapton liked cricket. Am I censored, says Martin. I don't know. I didn't even see that one. Les Gillettes Bleu. Again, you're on with the lesbian thing, aren't you? Proper memes. The Big Yin's joke about the priest visiting on a Sunday has to be the best. Talking about the coats used as quilts. I'm up to date. Chris Hood, I'm glad you are. You're in the right place if you want to be up to date. Putting up taxes doesn't cut costs. It's the opposite, isn't it? If you want to reduce inflation, reduce tax, because it's included in the price in the nominal basket that they use. We've been through this before. Don't start me on sliders. Are we talking about the shoes or the TV show? Because one of them was an absolute, what a waste of time. The other one was a great show. Baps, says Charlotte. I just choked on my toffee. Does toffee mean the same up here as well, down there? We always knew them as flip-flops, Martin. Joodles, you'd have what, like a bread? Can I have a chip flip-flop? Although you're Northern Irish, aren't you? So, I don't know. No, that's a little bit Ronnie Corbett. Hey, is that right? That's still not right, is it? Oh, I'm going. Give me an Irish person. The old Teddy Wogan. The old flip-flop. I saw your star turn with Paul Coxey today from yesterday. Cox has left the building talking about football on my head. Do you need your head read? Alan, you make it. Do you know what? It was always a pleasure to work with Coxey. His career's on fire. He got to do the Saturday 6 today, I imagine. Keep asking for it. They've never booked me for it. Maybe we should start some sort of an email-in campaign. So it wouldn't make a difference. The cricket one is 10cc. Thank you, Martin. They like cricket. Of course, we all know that 10cc is meant to be the volume amount of a person's ejaculate. Which is, loving spoonful. I imagine the same thing goes for that. What are we talking about? Paul, do you know any of the Humble Bums tunes when Billy... No, I don't even know I Shot the Sheriff without accidentally spuffing out 10cc. Chris says Gollum is back. Because we want as a flip-flops. I've never seen another that has that unknown skit to put you in the moment. Totally engrossing. Can we get back to talking about me? I'm reading out your comments and they're not even up because I've jigged the system. Let's get back into this. The front page of The Sunday Express fears families will be hit by 76,000 tax on death. Shall we read? I mean, I explained a lot of it, but shall we read it? Grieving family. Oh, of course, grieving families. Oh, I guess you're right there in the fields, doesn't it? Oh, may be hit with an average bill of 76,000. That might be average to you. That's quite large for me. Should Andy Burnham introduce a death tax to pay for his sweeping social care reforms? And the problem with that is if the government receives more money on the death of an individual, the National Health Service is going to go even more downhill. Why would you not? You know what I mean? It's money in the bank. Oh, we could keep this person alive for a bit longer. Let's revisit that right to die thing, should we? Analysis has revealed the levy could decimate, technically should be reducing by 10%, but let's find out, inheritance on the death of a relative. No, not unless the average was 760,000. Got you there, you little tinker. The Prime Minister, a supporter of the controversial... Look, I know the newspapers go hard on this inheritance thing. If everyone had to pay it, I think that would be bad. I don't mind when it was like 4% of estates paid it, and as house prices go up, more people will be included in it. But it's the people in the south who would be included in it first. I went through this when I was sorting out my dad's money when he passed away. I know this is not a place of personal seriousness, but because then it was my sister died, then my mum, then my dad, and the way that everything was set up, we had sister didn't have a will, mum had enduring power of attorney, dad had lasting power of attorney, and that's the only one that works. And it was such a mess that because my sister didn't leave a will, the money went to her next of kin upwards, which was the two demented mum and dad, which means we couldn't do anything with it unless we had mum and dad say so. Dad's was easy because the lasting power of attorney, enduring power of attorney, that BS thing, meant if we wanted to do anything with it, I would have had to have gone to court for every single thing. And I wouldn't recommend this as your strategy, but I'll tell you what my strategy was. I didn't get around to doing anything about it. And then my mum died, and it sorted out the paperwork. It feels like you shouldn't take that as a win, or maybe you should take that as a win. Do you know what I mean? It just made it a little bit easier. So yeah, I'm massively rich people don't like the idea of it, but even with 3 people's deaths all being lumped into one lump sum, we still didn't get anywhere near that limit. So it's not as bad as you think. Although I started to get that, I tell you what, I started to get loyalty points down that funeral home. Flipping heck. I genuinely asked when my dad passed away and we went in there to sort out the funeral. And so we were talking, I don't know, 4 years in total, but 2 years on the bounce with mum and dad. I'd made the joke because I can't not make jokes in my dry delivery. So we had no idea if it was a joke or not. I asked him if they did loyalty stamps. He looked at me like, I guess they don't have people like me in there normally. Right, let's get these up. I've got that on DVD too, Rubes. Joodles says that. The incontinent trousers makes me beep myself, pun intended. With my luck, my dad'll die the day after. What are we talking about? The cost of grieving crisis. That's what they should be calling it. The one that got me right in the chest. What, the old grieving families? Start it. Come on, you get. It's back. Cheesy DJs, no comment, not seeing your tweets. Try to avoid them like the plague. Thank you. We didn't even talk about the fact that last night was the All Hit Radio party. And it was, look, I was there as long as I could be. I had to leave at like 10 to get back for 11 to, looking after the kids and stuff. But I was put in a couple of hours. It was great chatting we talked to various people about various things. A big shout out to the lady I was speaking to. Her husband listens to the show and she listens by proxy because he puts the radio on. And she said, I've got used to your sense of humor. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? That's what you want to hear about. Your sense of humor is something I've acclimatized to. In the same way that I've now built up a tolerance for the poison used in the film The Princess Bride. I've got used to it. That's what I see your radio show as being like. And I said, thank you. But again, in a dry delivery that I don't think she picked up on. The pub band currently playing across the road from me just foolishly allowed their drummer a brief solo. Enthusiastic abandon of regular rhythm. I don't like that. I do like cricket. On a serious note, oh God. Paul says, Simon Evans' eulogies for his parents are very touching and helped me in my bereavement. I've not seen that. We didn't really talk about it. Because I really enjoyed working with him. And every so often that, the old death topic. For a while, it was difficult not to talk about death. You know what it's like. And whenever I'm on with Josh, he always accidentally does a joke about parents being annoying or something. And then always looks at me and is like, oh, yeah, because we were on air during all of that. I cried at Simon's gigs, Paul. Is you meant to? Or was it the ticket price? I laughed at Simon's gigs. Proper memes, I think that was the intention. I think I have people cry at my radio show. I just didn't realise. That's like saying, I can now cope with pain. Yes. She's been taking the cocodamol, and my radio show is now tolerable. And I'm glad to hear it. She's not. Simon's great, says Martin. Can we get back to talking about me? Someone's now going to set up a third one. I know how this show works. It was good last night. I didn't get to bump into you. I think I did spot your mum at the bar, which is a sentence I have said before. But I had to... Oh, and also a big shout out to Steve the cabbie. He used to call in. Basically, I ended up chatting with loads of people who used to call in. When I did the radio show live, back on Time FM, I was obsessed with using callers. Not in that way. But whenever someone would call in, we as a radio station originally, when it was in the Lambourne House, or whatever it was called, they didn't have the technology to record callers whilst you're doing the radio show. You either put them live to air, or it was impossible. You have to go into another studio. And I used to turn up with a laptop and a little box of wires so I could plug. My headphones would split, one going to the laptop. I'd record the calls, drop it over Wi-Fi into a playout folder, and play it. So every time I chatted to anyone, I'd record the calls. And look, at some point, I should start playing the Steve from Upney calls. That man was a genius, and none of us realised it. But Steve from Upney, Steve the Herald, everyone was called Steve, used to call in, and it was good. I got to meet him, and he gave me some flowers at the end of it. Weird. Well, I think they're flowers. They might be edible. I've not tried, but I think I'm going to try in case it turns out they are edible and I can feel less weird about it. Larry Entz was my favourite caller. He required different technology, Chris. I'll admit that. I recommended you to Stephen Allen's Substack. Simon is to his Substack. So you're not recommending my Substack. Thanks. Simon is a lovely fellow, as you know, and a brilliant writer. He is indeed. It was a pleasure working with him. John Cleese's eulogy for Graham Chapman is legendary. It is. It's just a shame, isn't it? It's all very well being able to write a good eulogy, but the people you write them for will never know. You really should get them knocked out earlier. OMG, I love him. Whom? Billy Colony. We should call him Ant-Man from now on. Who else have we been loving? Graham Chapman for some reason, John Cleese, Simon Evans. Oh, and Steve from Upney's getting more love. He always did. Yeah, I had a straight man give me flowers once. It was well weird. By straight man, as in like he was setting you up for the gags. I'd take the flowers if someone could set me up. I always thought the first time a bloke gets flowers is at his funeral. So I'm guessing you died on stage. Gentleman caller. Well, they were callers, yeah. Jewel says, I think it afflicts all comedians. What does? Eulogy, if you want to, says Martin. Thank you. My delivery absolutely messed that one up. Maybe it's a symptom of the condition. Talk to June Martin, Jules Martin. I don't know. I've accidentally tuned into Lewis. # all about me. I wish I could achieve that level of all about meism. It's his world and we're all living in it, is what he thinks. Front page of... This is not working. Can I tell you the other thing that's going to be a problem tonight? I'm going to try and replug this in. The other thing is the battery light on the wireless mouse is flashing. At some point, there will be no control over this. I will not be able to stop the feature. Yeah. Nothing else in there is worth looking at, is it? We're not going to do anything other than the front pages, and I quite like this. Oh, so I'll put the Sunday People in because we used to get the Sunday People when I was growing up. I have no idea why, and I didn't realise it was such a trash pile of newspaper that it turns out to be. When we were doing headliners, they never even included this. Now we do the other stuff as well, the late edition. They never include the People as a front page for some reason. I thought, why? Surely the People will be there to help us write some jokes on a show. Let's take a look at the front page. Who else did my monster pal kill? Okay, well, we're done with that one. Let's move on. The world exclusive Valentino dress that sparked the epic war of the Beckhams. I'm trying to care. I didn't really care with epic. I didn't care with War of the Beckhams. Epic, nah, it's not. I've not even watched Odysseus or whatever the flipping Odyssey, whatever the things happened. And I know that in comparison, the Beckhams falling out with someone is not an epic, but it was caused by a dress. I'd rather watch football, and that's saying a lot. What rude word rhymes with lot? You can take your silly dress and shove it up your... Can't think of anything, actually. Not tonight, Kerms. Not the first time you've said that. Says Joodles. Oh, I should be... we'll get back to this. Do you know what? Maybe we do this story now. A migrant gasping for life, a Spanish enclave gripped by fear. If only the no borders utopians were with me now. I guess we need to talk about this story because it is the big dealio, like 30,000 people turning up. And look, it's not that of course I'm sympathetic, and I would never take a news story and really deal with it in the wrong way by, I don't know, thumbing my nose at people I've disagreed with in the past. By the way, Spaniards, how's the we hate tourists thing going on these days? You know, I bring this up quite a lot. They have their signs going, tourists, go home. And what bothers me is tourists do go home. You bad sign writers. Just the other day, I said out loud, what you want to worry about more is the migrants rather than the tourists. I don't mind it when the government listens to me and follows what they do, but So, wasn't it something that there was some sort of rule change? 60,000 people now, is it? Good God, that's been a lot in the last 10 minutes. I'll go 62,000, says Kermit. Higher than 62. It's higher than 62. Put this on the spreadsheet. Good game. Sorry, I think I was sneezing there. There was something they'd heard the rumor that people who arrived in this Spanish enclave by water would not be deported. Imagine, if you can, for a while, deploy all imagination skills that you have. Meditate for a while, clear your brain, and then use all of the left part of your brain, the creative side, to come up with something so difficult to imagine. Could you imagine such a difficult... You can't even imagine how difficult it is to imagine. That's how difficult it is to imagine. I think. I don't know. I can't imagine it. What it would be like to live on an island where people thought if they turned up by water, they would not be deported. No, can't get it. Can't get it. Anyway, so that's what they're going through right now. I heard a guy being interviewed saying the problem is images are more... This was some I don't know, bleeding heart type. The problem is images are more impactful than statistics. One picture of lots of people turning up will do more to change the narrative than telling these. This is the words he said, than telling people the absolute figure. Oh, even he didn't say relative. Let's take a look at that absolute figure. Kermit's going for 62,000. That's an absolute figure. That's an absolute show. Took me a while to say that, didn't it? Stretching out me things. For donkey's years, says Martin. What have I done? For donkey's years, Martin. No, says Joodles. My chum from Sueta. I really want Steve to pronounce it. Sueta. Sueta. Does that sentence end there? All right. Martin, by coincidence, I watched a YouTube on enclaves a few weeks ago. Oh, I just realised I've left this over here as well. Seeing as we're doing all the music tonight. Proper Meme says, I knew it because it's been happening for some time now, but in smaller scale, Spain had even had a piece of coastal Sahara until 1975. Good God. Imagine swimming your way there. You'd be surprised. This beach never flipping ends. How long till we get to the ice cream shop? He won't sell many ice cream. He won't sell many ice creams. Been to another radio event 20 years ago, says Alan, in Prince Regent Pub, Marylebone High Street. I'll pronounce that. About 20 years ago. It was, about 20 years ago? 1 million amnesties they gave for illegal aliens recently. Wonder what message that they gave. Yeah, but they are saying tourists go home. So tourists go home. Well, consider me schooled, says Martin. I don't think I'd consider most people. Get the harmonica out. How very lembit, how very dare you, Ems. And what are you doing up at this late night? We didn't expect to see you around here. Surely it's after lights out, isn't it? Along with 88,000 illegals by boat. Steve gets his mouth organ out on a Saturday night. That's true. Yep. Love Mr. Blue Sky. Ruben, you've come to the right place. Sun is shining in the sky. There ain't a cloud inside. It stopped raining. Everybody's in the play. And don't you know, it's a beautiful new day. Hey. I bet you don't love it now, do you? Paul says, Q tea in Sahara with you. Lovely oh, do you mean like this? Don't know it. Migrants were tiptoeing into the country. We call it Spaniard ballet. Good. Get Christo to tell you about the callers a long time ago. You know, you're right. We should talk about how good he is. Does the mouth organ make 10cc? Not at my age, Paul. Thanks for asking. I'm on the supplements. There ain't no cloud. Go, bro. Ba-ba-da-ba-da. What do we get to? Spaniards. You're up to date. I think we've done the front pages. I brought some new stuff in. This I don't even know how I want to get into this. The Saturday interview. Amanda Knox on her Edinburgh Comedy Show. I'm more annoyed about it. If you want to succeed at the Edinburgh Comedy Show Festival these days, it's not really about whether you're funny or not. It's whether you can get in the newspapers. Imagine that. Imagine someone who's just dropped 10 grand on doing a show up there, and they see these are the interviews that's a personal gripe. People smugglers cut prices to exploit migrant crisis, so the free market does work. Traffickers take on new operatives to meet demand after chaotic storming of Spanish enclave fuels false hopes for thousands. Come with me as we zoom in. You see this picture here? I'm pointing with my mouth, with my mouse. You can't tell. The guy on the end is facing towards me. The next guy to him, facing towards me. The next guy is facing towards me. The next guy is facing towards me, is holding that kid. The next guy is facing towards me. And this little perv, hello, I'm going to enjoy this little trip. Are you going to Spain? He loves an enclave, that guy. What would you say, though? Because sorry, you're not meant to sit there. It's all illegal, mate. We're not meant to do any of it. Is that your papers, or are you just pleased to see me? No, I'd have to cut prices. For €200, you'd want the guy to face the other way. At the very least, wouldn't you? Is this one of those things where it's like if you stare at it for long enough, it makes sense? You know those pictures you see on the internet? That is what I'm seeing, isn't it? Help me out here, people. Yes, Steve, love it. It's uplifting. It is. Spaniard ballet was gold. Charlotte says, how about I pay you £62,000 to stop singing? I take your money. Hang on. I had ELO as a backing band once. Good God, what happened? How the mighty have fallen, says a man who is now doing a live stream to 20 people. No 10cc coming out of this stream. No cost of living crisis for the migrants then. Yeah. One of them's having hard times right now. The Charlotte says to Ruben, did you turn around? And they said, hello, hello. ELO, hello. That one isn't even wearing a life jacket. I'm not sure he had a ticket. He's not there for the journey, is he? He just pops on. You know that go, anyone who's not departing needs to get off now. He's like, oh, sorry, wrong one. Just sat down, take the weight off. Pedro Dirty Sanchez is a spanner, but now, if they employ illegal aliens, they'll be hit by a smooth criminal. There'll be lots of Spaniards out of work. That's the other thing. The person who was interviewed on the podcast I was listening to earlier was saying they heard that they wanted to go to the Spanish enclave to find work. And this is someone who was interviewed when it was 30,000 people. So it was a day old. But do you know about supply and demand? You're not going to find work. If 30,000 people suddenly turn up, there's no job. How many Deliveroos do you think there could be in Spain? I was in the choir. Oh, really? I always wished I could be an ELO and I could play the fire extinguisher. Ting, 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 ting. 20 high-quality people, though. That one's not who's facing the wrong way, is he? Hello. I don't need a life jacket. I'll just hold on tightly to you if you don't mind. Thanks, Judel. What's Judel said? Lol, Chris. What's Chris said? Meredith FF Chris Waddle. I wish I got half of this. Bravo. Have we done the front pages? We've not, have we? Dun, 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 dun. William and Kate bring children to second last day of Commonwealth Games. I'm all for abbreviating things for headlines, but they really should say their children. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise it comes across a bit Prince Andrewy. You're up to date. Infantino, I just popped that in just in case it wasn't on the front pages because Infantino's leaving football. I'm forgetting more and more of the words. Should we get inside the news?
Let's get inside the news.
Ding, 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 ding. Let's get inside the news. Got to move my crayons out of the way. Literally have to move me. Got a pink crayon right there. Either that or the dog's excited. Hey! Bravo. Spanish Essex accent says, yeah, that's exactly how they talk. Always quality over quantity. I agree, Charlotte. Store ditches tape measure ban during bra fits. Again, I understand the abbreviation, but they mean fitting, not just kind of like, I saw a bra. Bravo to M&S. Bear in mind, this is only a day since we found out that M&S are now selling crotchless pants, and I mean deliberately crotchless pants, not like, bought these on Timo and they never stitched up the, landing flaps to manual. Marks and Spencer has reversed its decision. I suppose it still has, isn't it? It feels like there's about 15 people involved. To ditch tape measures for bra fittings after customers complained. All right, I'll have a go. I can see how that would put you off. It'd be even worse if I turn up with my keyring of various sized cups. The shoppers and staff are said to have moaned... What? Said to have moaned measurements by eye. Oh, they're said to have moaned measurements by eye take too long and are not accurate. What is pervia, by the way? Is it someone turning up going, right, let's have a look. Or is it someone going, that's a 34er, if it's a day. Either way, that's what I'm here for. M&S, which has done in-store bra fits since the 1940s, will now keep tape measures on standby if customers request them. Good God, this woman needs a tape measure. One M&S worker called it a victory for common sense. She said, fittings take much longer without a tape measure and staff were already under pressure, especially at busy times. Customers prefer us using a tape measure too, as you get a more accurate fitting than by eye. Plus, I got me cataracts. I had an astigmatism. Kept thinking that everyone had lopsided boobs. Oh, no. M&S does more than 1 million bra fits a year. It's more than me. I know, and I've been beat. I don't do official ones. I just more, you know when people say, I just like sitting in a coffee shop, people watching. That's what they mean, isn't it? King's Right Royal, workaholic King Charles. Workaholic King Charles writes up to 2,400 letters a year, around 7 a day. Don't. The non-stop monarch barely started, to be fair. He didn't start for a long while, but then he's not stopping. Even penned missives in the car on a Sunday morning as he was being driven to church. Imagine the state of those. Giving it some Dear Slim, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I put my number, the 3rd, on the bottom. I knew there'd be a joke in there somewhere. Creepy guy branches out now as the hot weather's on the wane. Paul says, saying more than a handful is a waste. Ouch. Tape. Tape in the back, business in the front. I'll take the fabric one. Okay, yes, I understand. I just don't have a fabric tape measure to hand in my man shed. I'm not going to say why I've got a tape measure in my... I don't need to say why I've got a tape measure in my man shed. It's a man shed. Actually, just said Charlotte, just reminded me I need to go for a refitting. Well, you need your tracking done. It's now. Look, I'm not an expert, but I imagine that's what you do, isn't it? They go in there, then tape. Oh, that one dropped low, didn't it? Nearly measured something then. They did tape measure around the chest. I know that's the number. The cup size. They get the little measuring scoops out from baking. They do those, and then they sort your tracking and your alignment. Otherwise, it'll just wear on one side. Prove me I'm wrong. Prove that I'm wrong. That's the Q, Ems. There's a Q? Suits you, sir. That's a good point. What's Ems? Ems, I feel like I'm missing yours tonight. Why did you have the tape measure to hand? Because you never know when you need to measure something. Jesus, Paul. Jiddle's there doing the speed reading version of the Bible. You've missed a few bits out, but we get the gist. To my chagrin. Warm your hands on the brazier. Is that what it is? Is that what it is? A brazier. Oh, you don't want to get those mixed up, do you? I mean, I'll measure either one for you, but be careful. Explains the swollen fingers. Yes. Not clamping hard. Well, this. Gee, I'd never go for the top one. You're right. I'd never go for the top one. I'm more of a cheeky little underside button. Newsreader Colin Brazier started his career at M&S lingerie selection. He did. I measured him once. Up on the ramps, says Jules. Exactly. That's what you do, isn't it? They get you up on the ramps. They get the cups out. They sort out your alignment, your tracking. Change your spark plugs. You're off. Always have a 5mm Stanley about the place. Listen, says Paul, I don't know this Stanley, but my sympathies are with him. If he would like some of the supplements I've been taking, I can let him know a very good supplier. It's Temu. It's not a good supplier. Bugger, forgot this. Says, what have you forgotten, Brit? You're halfway in the middle watching this and you've forgotten something because I got the tape measure out. Hi-ho Kermit says, could be the same thing for some. That's Adrian Mole used measuring tape in the book versus the TV series. Do you remember what he did in the bathroom? I don't. You're right, Steve, says Charlotte. They also give you an tracking ID and an order number. Yeah, and I'm sure, look, I've not looked at a lot of bosoms. You got a VIN number tattooed under there somewhere, yeah? If you got, listen, people who've had implants, I bet they've got a VIN number on the old underside. Do you know what it actually says on the underside of a lady's boobs? Actually, that's what some people have tattooed. You know what? Moving on to the next one. What time is it? Well, okay, we should be finishing soon. We've barely touched the sides. That's what she said. A couple of these won't take long at all. Tech meltdowns cost £44 billion a year. Computer failures are costing the UK economy £44 billion every year, a study says. And the figure has soared from $35 billion in 2018. Both $35 billion is lower than 44, and 2018 was in the past. So this data checks out. Listen, I thoroughly agree, because you know what it's like. Every so often, Windows, damn you, Bill Gates, requires that I do an update. Here's what happens. It says it needs an update. I'm like, you can have one when I'm flipping good and ready. All right, who's the boss around here? You know the boss of me? And then it just gets to the stage where the mouse is sluggish. And it's like programmed obsolescence, isn't it? They do a thing where they can just mean it is just so shabby. You go, I'm going to have to restart this absolute git. And then it does its updates. Same thing happens on the phone. You need a security update. And then eventually, apps aren't opening. So then you have to restart it. Oh, and it does its update. A few times we've done an update and it means this show has not happened. Do you know how much money I've missed out on from Ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen? Less than £44 billion. That's how much we know. We know it can't be more than that, otherwise this data is wrong. So there you go. Not that I'm saying that should give you a vague sense of how much you should contribute at the end of the show. And even I think you shouldn't contribute at the end of today's show. It's been slapped together. But for those ones that kind of work and you think, do you know what, I would have paid for that, you should contribute some money that's less than 44 billion. I don't know where. I'm not telling you not to. Hong Kong, says Paul Head. What are you doing? You doing favourite TV show, favourite cartoons from the... Are you like Andy Burnham? Mad for it. Do you remember this cartoon? Proper meme says to Chaz, do they call you out on the PA? 34 double D Charlotte, 34 double D Charlotte. Back up, says Joodles, like a Tonka truck. What's happening here? Most of that's just Steve's computer. Yes, Ems, thank you for appreciating my plight. By the way, my media server under the TV, Windows 10, flipping, it's about to get Debianed up to the number 12. Ooh, I'm going to Linux that absolute. App Ocalypse, says Brit. Nice. Computer says no. Yeah, it does, doesn't it, sometimes. But back up, as in I should back stuff up. I thought you meant like, whoa, back it up there. Sing Mirror in the Bathroom, Please Don't Freak. Like this. I don't know it. Vodafone says no. Good. I ignore the updates for a week. Then it gave me no option when I shut down. Yeah, I know. You get that. They've got you. They've absolutely got you. It's like the Edge browser. That joke the other day, we never even touched on it. Slapped together, says Charlotte. Now my mind's wandering. I think my mind's been wandering as well. Fewer, says Joodles, if the pound is an entity. PG jingle.
Don't you mean...
We always learnt them as discrete and continuous variables. There might be some slight mismatch on that, isn't it? The AB came out with his bun fight today. Andy Burnham, mad for it, kid. Expect his dad was a master baker. Nice. We called them cobs when I was growing up. Car software updates have got so serious now, if you don't do it for a while, the car goes into limp home mode, says Paul. And I had to have AA update software as my village had bad reception for downloads. Listen, mate, I tried to update the firmware on one of these cameras. This one. It wouldn't track me for ages. I had to get my tracking fitted. Went down M&S, the boob section. I said, can you fix me tracking? And they said, why have you brought a camera in here? And it's a whole big deal. And that's why I'm banned from Tesco, because they share information now. Paul, at least, says Problem News, at least it keeps alcoholics working. True. What are we talking about? Wrong end. And then also, a benefits cheat who claimed he was too weak to lift a phone was caught running a 10K and climbing scaffolding. Ryan Scott, 39 of Torquay, Devon, endorse it, wouldn't recommend it, it's not, was found out after a tip-off led investigators to uncover photos of him doing a 10K race. The big question is, if he did a 10K and could climb scaffolding, how heavy was this phone? Good God. I know they're getting bigger. Phones got smaller and then they start to get bigger again. But lordy, look, this guy can do a 10K and he can't... Makes you feel sorry for Ems. And for those regular viewers know exactly why. Exactly. Let's make some progress on this, shall we? Swing and buy sale. A home used as the Swingers Club is on the market for £1.1 million. The 3-bedroom cottage has bars, a hot tub, a sauna, and dungeons. Was this like the Enterprise? You've got to have a brig there just in case when someone gets out of hand. Is that what it is? I imagine that's what it is. Can't think of anything else that it would be. The club, Chunky Muffins. I was with you all the way up to that. Do you fancy getting some swinging? Tell me more. Should we go to a place that's got bars? What kind of, or both? It's got dungeons. What, like the Voyager? Got a brig in case people get out of hand. Yeah. What's it called? Chunky Muffins. Oh, thank you. Chunky Muffin is just a nickname for some kids' entertainer, isn't it? Oh, you Chunky Muffin. It's like that, isn't it? It has a license which allows lap dancing and live sex shows. Good. If there's one thing I insist on a sex show, every participant must be alive. Otherwise, I'm not here to yuck your yum. I don't want to kink shave. I don't want to kink shave. We're done. Why don't you drink, Steve? Don't need to, obviously. Oh, good God. Oh, no, we do need to cover this story. That's my new nickname. I don't mean to kink shave. But if you do want a kink shave, I'll tell you a licensed place that'll do it for you. Chunky Monkeys, whatever it's called. Oh, Chunky Muffins. Imagine, though, because it's a bad name for a swinging club, but it's an okay name for a bakery. What should we do this weekend? I don't know, but I'm looking on Google Maps, and there's a place just up the A1. We're all guessing it's the A1. No, it's not. It was in Devon or Dorset, wasn't it? But it should be on the A1. Oh, just spotted a place at the A1. What's it called? Chunky Muffins. Do you fancy going along and see if we can order a few? Sure. Yes. Let's do it. They're in for a shock. If you do go there thinking it's a bakery, are you going to turn up to... Don't get, violent with the staff. They've got a dungeon. A town hall has been granted a high court injunction to stop unknown people from hanging flags on lampposts. What a way to test whether I'm still famous or not. That's what it'd be, trying to put a flag up getting arrested. I was on the MASH report. It was on the telly years ago. I know. Oxfordshire County Council's legal action argued that there are safety risks as well as trespass and obstruction issues. Of course there are. All right. It's really got to be about flags of any sort, hasn't it? If they only take umbrage when it's this flag, then you got your problem. There's your issue. In a judgment, Mr. Justice Dexter Diaz, Robert's brother, made an injunction order. Ordering people not to attach flags to highway structures or paint them on roads. My theory has always been don't paint a St. George's cross on many roundabouts, or it means that from Google Earth, the UK looks like it's been held on by screws. You're up to date. Where do we get to? USA has Piggly Wigglies. Is that a swinging club as well? I still wouldn't quite fancy it. Do you want to go to a swing club? Sure. What's it called? Piggly Wigglies. I think I'll go to Chunky Muffins, please. The phones are so small now, I have 2 pillows to snuggle mine in. Right next to your VIN number. That's nothing. A prof at Cambridge, as well as the SAS, did 10 marathons on a broken leg while... Yeah, full. Yep. If only we could live up to that guy's standard. Hey, I've been good tonight. No need for that. That's true. That's true. You're on good behaviour. Swing and buy, I thought it's always been buy then swing. I suppose, yeah. You don't want to... It's not one of those where you pay on exit. Like the toll bridge to get into Wales. First supermarket was... Oh, the supermarket. Okay, I'm with you. For a minute there, I thought that was just being really mean about the people who turn up to your swingers club. There's one thing running a swingers club, but there's no need to be mean. Look, if these people weren't Piggly Wigglies, they'd probably not be indulging in this thing. We know what's going on. We know how it works. The Chunky Muffin, that's a terrible name. That doesn't sound like an appealing place. I mean, unless you're into chunky muffins. Steve Web Squirrel says, Steve kink shaving is the The one prompt AI will refuse to make for proper memes. I'm amazed you get away with it, proper memes. Honestly, Gemini won't even make pictures of me for me when I've uploaded my picture because it says it's not allowed to make pictures of public figures. And I keep saying to it, I wouldn't even be allowed to hang a flag in Oxfordshire. That's how unknown I am these days. Do you get to dunk in a donut at Chunky Muffin? Ooh, you would, but you wouldn't want to eat the donut afterwards. It would taste sweeter just because of the diabetes running rampant through those places. It's my what 3 words, Webby? Oh, Steve Kink Shaving. Just down the road from Steve Kink Shaving. But you got to be specific. Over 3 years, when the clientele got a bit older, they had to change the name to Chunky Muffin Top. Beautiful. There's 3 words for you. Isn't there a Piggly Wigglies in Bill and Ted film? A Napoleon scoffing ice cream scene? There might be. Proper Meme says, Steve's kink shaving, razor sharp wit, and edgy jokes. You're up to date. Never heard of the MASH report. Brutal. Never heard of the MASH report. My sister missed you doing Free Speech Nation. As the host, she introduced me to you. Well, yeah, I don't get anywhere near that these days. Pampas grass, says Paul. Inverted pineapple in the window. Monkey puzzle trees. Have these been updated as swinger signs yet? I did not realise. You got to be careful, haven't you? You hire the wrong kind of gardener, and you'll be. Well, this is the thing, right? The story was about the fact that you can now buy that club. I still get posts for the people who used to live here, and that's just post. That's just vouchers from Tesco. I would use them, but I'm banned. I think we've covered this. Imagine what it's like buying a place that used to be a swingers club. Ding dong, not again. It's not Chunky Muffin anymore. Oh, you've been on the wee Govey. Just go away. Wedded miss for millions. The proportion of people aged 18 and over in England and Wales who are either married or in a civil partnership has fallen to just 51.1%. Ooh, nearly enough for us to all pair up with the other ones. And the percentage of the population who have never married or been civilly partnered rose to 34.9%. All right, let's do the maths on this then. Are the rest divorced? Just over 51%. A full Brexit leave, nearly a full Brexit leave of married or in a civil partnership, but I've seen some of them rowing. And then 35% kids, basically, too young, never done it, never settled down, never had the chance. There was one once, but she kept going on about going to this weird bakery up the A1. Of the 24.8 million married people last year, 218,204 were in same-sex marriages. Been married for years, and it's just the same sex. Boom! Drop the pen again, sorry. I did say go to this bakery, but I went to Ministry of Offence. Loved those. Thought they were great. Why so few episodes? Yeah, Paul, I really enjoyed doing those, hosting those. I forgot I had a career, didn't I? I used to flip in host a show on that network, and now they won't take my calls. There's only 2 producers to do. Chunky pineapple muffin. All right, treacle. Inverted pineapple. How did you know what I placed up there earlier? Buy a swingers club, says Brit. Just don't get yourself a blacklight. Well, good Lord. You could read by it, though, don't you know what I mean? You could get the UV going, and the room would be illuminated so well, you could do your makeup. Jesus, robes. Pineapple chunks. Oh, no, I'm with you on that one. Pineapple chunky muffins, says Kermit. I get the idea of a pineapple upside-down cake, but I wouldn't notice that in the window. Yeah. Majority of people live alone since 2010, so don't get the 51.5 married. Oh, maybe they're married and living alone, which I think is just apex, isn't it? That's ticking all the boxes. The slightly preferential tax rates and the living alone. Oh, dear Christ, Brit. No, I'm for it. You'd have to, wouldn't you? You'd have to get crime scene cleanup. I did that gig in Letchworth the other day, and before I was brought on stage, the MC was chatting to someone in the front row, and they said, "What do you do for a living?" And he said, "Crime scene cleanup." And everyone in the audience just assumed he was working for the police. It very much could be the other, couldn't it? AA is the swingers clubs. Yeah, do you know what? I called up the other day. They sent around a very nice man. Very, very nice man. A very, very nice man. Should we wrap this up? Because does anyone care about... All right, I'll rattle through the rest. Car reg cams zap 1,200 per second. Yeah, we know that cameras are everywhere. And they get you for driving these, don't they? This one's... We can do a quick hit on this one. Holiday evac pack warning. Make plans to flee fires. Holiday makers have been urged to pack an evacuation bag in case they have to flee raging wildfires. You're on holiday. You go there with a bag packed. You don't need a go bag when everything is still in a bag, you bunch of... Are you one of those people who unfurls everything into the wardrobes? You're moving in, you weirdo. Bookie laying off 600... I was going to do a full rant about that. I don't care about that. Trump brewer battle. A brewer that promised free beer all day when Donald Trump dies has lost its license after council bosses saw the promotion. The U.S. Wisconsin Department of Revenue is planning to ship... Look, I think you should have the right to do sick jokes if you want to. He's not going to last forever as well. There's money to be made there. Do you know what I mean? This guy. Fears of Mr. Live Forever. A billionaire biohacker who wants to live forever fears he's gone too far. He's going to live for more than forever. Good God. He's not just living for the infinite number of years. He's living for one of those uncountable infinites. All the decimals between 0 and 1. Ooh. Brian Johnson, feels like a nickname for a willy, whose stunts in pursuit of eternal life have included injecting himself with his son's blood plasma. It's been diagnosed with an incurable disease. I don't want to mock someone who's got autoimmune disease, but I also feel you shouldn't be trying to harvest your son. I'm not being too harsh there, am I? I feel you shouldn't try and harvest the stem cells of your own kids. Well, that's just about all we have time for. It's Friday Live and Loose. I didn't do any Temu shopping today. I was basically just in town with the kids. Hang on. We'll wrap up these ones. Was it Greg Davis? What? Let's mention more comedians on here, should we? Was he called Leon, the cleaner? Thank. Beep. Life's so simpler, says Ruben. I don't know what we're talking about. Take your time. We've nowhere to go after this. No, it's all right for you, but tomorrow morning I have to do something, and let's find out what that is as we see what I'll be doing this week. That's right. Smooth.
Here are the plugs where you can see Steve and Helen all this week.
There's no paperwork. I'm working tomorrow morning. Simple as that. I'm up incredibly early to be on GB News tomorrow, reviewing the newspapers, and thankfully, I've just taken a look at most of them, and they're all about, like, dead people. I guess I need to have a hot take on this Spanish situation. Whereas, and then that's it. Tomorrow night, I'm writing the newspaper column. Subscribe to my Substack. And why not subscribe to everyone else's Substack, apparently? Go to substack.com/@Mr. Stephen Allen. I'll write some stuff on there. Plus, no, that's it. You're up to date. What's that shit? Got a weird... Oh, do you know... Can anyone guess what they are, by the way? Anyone? Quick guess while we're working on this? Meanwhile, I'll read some of the comments. Get the spark plugs out. Ooh, have you not got one in, have you? Good lordy. Butt plugs, says Joodles. I think I bet there'd be some left over if you bought that club. Oh, we've just moved into this new place. We're cleaning out the attic. What did you find? You don't want to know. Oh, not on the eider down. Charlotte says, fellas, do I look like the type of lady that would have a backpack on my shoulders? Don't answer that. Proper meme says death nuts. They're not death nuts. Wouldn't that be great? Licorice becomes Spanish. What's that got to do with it? Brand, says Joodles. Colin's feet. You're exactly right. It's Colin's feet. Congratulations. Say hello, Colin. What do you mean he doesn't talk? What? But I'm sure I've seen it. What do you mean I've been eating cheese? Weird. And that's about all we have time for. Now let's see what some of these are. Steve is cootermogging. Thank you. Kermit, says Joodles. Kerm says, what's happened with... You think it was Kerm on my desk? Steve, GB News, goody goody. Goody goody. Buck Rogers. Take on Spain. It was an intelligence gathering mission for what is being planned. They'll have to swim further, won't they? This really is. I think if we just ban the sale of goose fat, no one's swimming across the channel. That's one thing I know. I'm going to Spain in a week's time. Enjoy your swim. Proper memes. I can see the table. That's nothing. When I've been doing this, I had to put the tea towel on my leg. I might have shot the sheriff, but I didn't put my trousers on. Oh, little Colin is cute. He's all right, isn't he? In Yorkshire, we call licorice Spanish. Though you guys may too. No, don't give too many ideas to Andy Burnham. He'll go for this. Joodle says, sleep tight for 3.5 hours. Thank you. And basically, we're up to date. Thank you very much for watching. Yeah, tomorrow morning, if you're around, and I'm just going to try and work out which of those suits I can fancy wearing / fit into. Ko-fi.com/Mr. Stephen Allen. Don't feel obliged. Click a subscribe. Click a like. Click the thing with the bell. Although I did that and it stopped sending me emails that I'm doing the flipping show, so I don't know why it's... Am I spam filtering my own show from my own email? Good lordy. It's an oldie world word for licorice. Spanish. Really? Why? Because licorice all sorts have a lie down every afternoon for no good reason. My mum used to call it Spanish. Thanks, Steve. Nice stream. Thank you. At my age, it's... Look, licorice lies. What's happening here? Spanish fly. Is that what it is? You're eating Spanish fly. Thanks for doing it, Steve. I'm glad you made it. You know what? I always have fun doing these. And I always think the ones where I have fun are probably the worst ones I ever do because I enjoy the abandoned half thoughts more than I probably should. Click things. Kermit says, yeah, I didn't notice. Why was I late? What you been up to? Manjana. Oh, mañana, as in the Spanish thing. I thought you were trying to come up with another spell. I thought it was the other category of flavour that taste buds can detect. Licorice, but I hardly knew it. Oh, we're all doing it. Britt got there first, though, which is even kinkier, isn't it? I don't want to kink shave you, but there's a club you might want to buy up the A1. What? Thank you very much for watching. I almost regret not wearing the full trouser now because this aircon has absolutely frozen me thighs. Good lordy. Thank you for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure. Third time's the look. I don't get the joke. Joodles, what's the joke? Didn't get a noti. Join me over here. I didn't help, did it? Like and subscribe. I'll take the kink shaving. Just a trim. Third time. Anyway, I'll go away and I'll think about it. I didn't get the notification. Humble brag on the aircon. 19 degrees. It's my own stupid fault. I overshot. What am I doing? No, I'm getting cramps here. In fact, it wasn't meant to be on 19 degrees. I set it to 21. Damn it. You just can't get the staff. While I go and rub my thighs, I will see you on... Now, next week, the lad's in like a sports academy thing. So I think I'm pretty free for the Tuesday, the Thursday, but not the Friday. So Tuesday, Thursday, we'll do the 12 o'clock one. I'm on 5 Live on Friday. Oh, look, I'm not banned by the BBC. So I'll be on there talking about the news, and which means it's in studio, so I won't be able to get back in time to do it. And I've got a gig that Friday night. But under the new rules, even though It will be my fault that I can't do Friday stream. I think I can pull the wool. I think I can negotiate a situation where we get to do a makeup one on a different day. That's crisp. Says Charlotte. As a remote control too. Hey, you think I'm not going to walk over there and do it? Like a caveman? Look, I don't want to show off too much. Yes, it has a remote control. When I feel I want to really get my hands dirty, or I could just do, okay, Google, turn off aircon.
Turning off the air conditioner.
Why, thank you.
Ending our chat.
Brutal. This is my fault for picking the female voice, isn't it? Listen. Makeup stream. Fashion tips from Steve. That's not a bad idea. Almost daily. It's getting that way, isn't it? 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Good question. The midday one. And will he do smoky eyeshadow? I don't know. It seems more likely that I've just not drunk enough. Remote control is the future. Just needs a zap. Well, you're not if I didn't touch anything. Nicolas Cage just raided my house. Frigid, says Martin. She was, wasn't she? I was trying to have a little chit-chat then. Absolutely got the cold shoulder. Well, I'm not surprised. It's 19 degrees in here. Doing what you asked now. Back off. Good God. It was like being in nightclubs in my 20s all over again. That John Malkovich was with him too. Yep, brutal. Listen, thank you very much for watching. I'm now in the waffle stage. I can do this on my own. So I shall spare you any stresses. But for this stuff, Tuesday, I think, get on the Discord, get on the social media. I will confirm, but I think we're doing a midday one, back in the olden days one. Ruben says I still have an outside toilet. That's voice activated as well, if someone's in it. Frozen Shoulder by Google. That was a great album. Till next time, have yourself a good one. Bye.